Good morning, Enid. Welcome. It's Thursday, March 3rd, and we appreciate you being with us again. Boy, the weeks go so quick. Currently, we got 48 degrees, and if you haven't heard the the rafters rattling, say that real quick, Ashley. The rafters rattling. It's very windy out. Winds are from the northwest at 23. It's going to be a windy day today, and also the fire danger. Hi, I'm Steve Keim.
And I'm Ashley Keim.
And it's good to see you again. Seems like we were just here.
I know, every week. We keep coming back.
Are your taxes done?
They are, Steve, they are.
Mine are done. I'm not sure if they're correct.
Oh,
but
well, maybe you can get some help with that today.
I need some help.
Maybe. Anyways, Enid, it is good to be back. We are glad that you are here, and it is time to rise and shine.
Thank you, AJ. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us again on this Thursday, March 3rd. Wow, March is on its way.
It's on its way.
I think February is about 12 days long, even though it said 29 on the calendar. Didn't it go quick?
It did. It did. I think January went fast too.
Well, way, way fast. All right. At any rate, it's holding steady at 48 degrees, and we'll take a moment to look at the statewide temps. In case you're going to travel across the state today, this is what it's going to look like. If you go all the way out to the Panhandle, to Optima, it's going to be, well, right now it's 36 degrees. So it's kind of the coolest place in the state. But way down at Indianola, it's already 52. But I imagine the winds are they're probably not from the northwest there. And I don't know about Soper. Have you been to Soper in southeast part of the state? Me neither. I'm from Oklahoma, and I've kind of been everywhere, but Soper, I may have been asleep when I drove through.
Possibly, Steve.
But how about Slick? Have you been to Slick?
No, I have not.
I've been to Slick.
I'm still pretty new to Oklahoma,
That's right.
Steve.
You're that
I've
Nebraska, Kansas girl.
Yeah.
You're just kind of a nomad. You live in Nebraska, then they find out about you. You move to Kansas.
I know. I keep going south.
You just keep going south. But in the northeast part of the state, what's that community up there in the northeast part?
Nowata?
Very good.
Is that how you say that?
Nowata. That's right.
Okay.
I lived in Bartlesville for a long, long time, and Bartlesville's to the west of Nowata.
Okay.
I got Nowata. So, anyway, let's look at the 3-day forecast. Ashley, I think we got some 70s, and the spring is going to be springing or something. Grammar and English was my...
I think, possibly. Anyway, Steve, yes, we are going to be in the 70s this weekend. It's going to be a little bit cloudy, but still in the 70s, so it'll be nice and warm. Get outside, do some spring cleaning. I'm very, very excited to see 70-degree weather this weekend. Steve, I've been waiting.
Yep, I've noticed in my neighborhood, more and more people are getting out, doing a little bit of unwinterizing, and the jonquils are up and the tulips are trying to make a comeback. So yeah, spring is certainly in the air. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We want to remind you that City Commission meeting will be tonight, Thursday evening. Yes, Thursday evening. Typically it is on Tuesday, but this is, the regular meeting got moved to Thursday. There is no study session. Typically that starts at 5 o'clock down in the the lower level of the conference room at 5. That will not happen tonight, so we're just having the real deal. And the real deal is the council meeting at 6:30.
Yes.
And there's one other important announcement that we want to share with you in regard to vacancies.
Board vacancies, yes. Feel free to send in your applications. The deadline for that is March 7th, which is quickly approaching. Yeah. Today is the 3rd, so you've got about, just a few more days.
March 7th, I think maybe is Monday. But if you go to enid.org, you'll see the application that you can complete. And this is an opportunity for you and the community. If you have some time and you want to give back to the community, you can do so by serving on one of these boards. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of opportunities right there. And Monday's the deadline to get that in there. So anyway, those are a couple things to keep in mind. Well, it's 7:35, and one of my favorite times is to listen to the Bow Tie Guy and the Oklahoma Minute. And let's do that right now.
Former CEO of Chesapeake, Aubrey McClendon, was killed in a car wreck yesterday. The Oklahoma House voted 65-34 to pass a bill to cut Medicaid to those under 65 years old that are not pregnant and considered able-bodied in order to save the state $130 million yearly. The Oklahoma State Election Board report that voters broke the Oklahoma record for voter turnout Tuesday. Oklahoma voters chose Bernie Sanders, Democrat, and Ted Cruz, Republican, in the primary election. This day in history, March 3, 1931, President Herbert Hoover signs a congressional act making the Star-Spangled Banner the official national anthem of the United States. Last night, Oklahoma City Thunder played the Los Angeles Clippers. The score was Clippers 103, Thunder 98. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Stephen Ashley.
Man, oh man, I was sure hoping that the Thunder would win. I want to add something about Aubrey McClendon. Several years ago, I was the executive director of a nonprofit, statewide nonprofit organization. And it was the time that, of course, we're raising a lot of money for our nonprofit. And he was with Chesapeake at the time, and they made a substantial contribution as a company. But Aubrey also matched that contribution with a personal check to the group that I was the director of. And that's just one of many stories that people will say how influential he was in Oklahoma City to make Oklahoma City a better place. You had the Chesapeake Boathouse down on the river. I mean, there's just so many things, and then the campus at Chesapeake. But that's just a note that I wanted to add, that besides the corporate contribution, he wrote a personal check to match that. And that's the heart that he had about giving back to the community. So,
Wonderful.
So
very,
it's been a
very
loss.
wonderful. I also want to remind everyone to bring up the cows. We might as well do that right now. Anything that you want to send us, comments, questions, suggestions, you can send those to asksteve@enid.org. We love to hear from you, pictures, things going on around town. We'd love, we enjoy seeing you, hearing from you.
Speaking of the cows, how's Norman?
He's doing great. He's doing great. He's getting.
There's Norman.
He's getting big enough.
There's
He's
Norman.
getting big enough now that he can kind of push me around a little bit, and he
Good.
gets a little
should.
feisty.
He's got to push you around. He's got to be pretty tough.
But again, so you can send those suggestions, pictures to asksteve@enid.org.
Yeah. Okay. What's next?
What is
As
next?
we're moving right along.
Well, Steve, this week Brooke is back. She's back with some more happenings.
I think
at
she's
the
been a
event
busy little
center.
girl, if I can say that.
She has. She has. So let's check in with Brooke and see what's going on.
Good morning, Enid. Thank you so much for having me back this morning. I'm glad to be telling you about some of the many events that we have going on at the Enid Event Center and Convention Hall. This month, on Saturday and Sunday, March 12th and 13th, we have Discover the Dinosaurs. Great event for kids. We've got exhibits, coloring, digs, dino rides, mini golf, just lots of fun for the kids. You can purchase tickets at the door. And this event is so popular, it's in 10 states this month. So great event to bring the kids to. Then in April, we've got Sticks coming. So for all the rocker fans, we've got Sticks. That'll be a great event to add some diversity here to Enid at the event center. A fun fact about Sticks, in 1981, when they recorded their album, Kilroy was here, they used solar-powered equipment. So that's really neat, fun fact about Sticks. Then in April, also on the 6th, we've got the Cardin International Circus, and they'll have 2 shows for that event. And then a recent announcement, we have Weird Al Yankovic, very funny comedian who's gonna be coming here. So definitely have some variety going on at the event center. That's July 17th this summer for his mandatory world tour. He's been playing the accordion since he was 7 years old. He was the valedictorian of his high school class, and he's won 4 Grammys. And then lastly, we are so proud to have had the Oklahoma Speakers Ball in the event center this past Sunday. Really transformed the space from the arena that it is into a beautiful banquet space. If you want to see how that happened, we have our time-lapse video on our Facebook page. So go visit our Facebook page to see that and all of our upcoming events. Now, back to you, Steve and Ashley.
And I'd like to add into the Speakers Ball, there were several individuals that I saw from Oklahoma City that were there, and I kept reminding them, it's hard to imagine, but you're standing on a basketball court right now. Or where a rodeo dirt, the dirt for a rodeo would be. They were so impressed with the facility, and Brooke and her group and Keller Taylor and everybody did a great job. Okay, we got to look at the menus because we got the tax woman coming up. We got to find out if my taxes are done right. So, so for Thursday, Ashley, what do we got?
Thursday at school today, it looks like they are going to have fish sticks, mac and cheese, romaine salad, zucchini slices, mixed fruit, and milk.
Speaking of cheese, grilled cheese is coming up on Friday, and oven potatoes? Oven potatoes. Pork and beans, oh man. Can't wait for that. An apple crisp, and we gotta have the milk. I wonder if that's low fat or 2%. I don't know.
2%.
But if you have a pre-K, to 5th grade, that's what's on the menu today. So, Good Morning Enid at 7:41. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, March 3rd, holding steady at 48 degrees. And for our pilots, again, very windy out there, north-northwest breeze around 23 miles an hour. Okay, it's time for One-on-One with Jomara.
Good morning, Enid. As Steve mentioned, it's that time of the year where we have to file our taxes. If you haven't done so, we have some general information that can help you do so. But before we go on to that, I want to mention that the information presented is general in nature and is not intended as tax advice and may not be relevant or suitable for specific circumstances or needs. It's not intended as a source for legal advice. So we have Annette Radomski, and she's an accountant with the finance department. She works for the city of Enid, and she's going to share some information regarding taxes. Annette, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me, Jomara.
We were talking yesterday, and you mentioned that there's a form out there called the Form 1095 that some people may not be very familiar with it. So what is the Form 1095?
The 1095 is a new form this year. If you purchased your healthcare insurance from the marketplace, which is healthcare.gov, you've already received it, and it is necessary to use it with your taxes because you'll need to reconcile any advance credits you got with what's actually on your return. Other individuals, if they work for an employer-sponsored healthcare, will get it sometime this month. They are not necessary to file your return. It is just the employer's way of letting the IRS know who was covered on your insurance policy for the year. And so you'll need to put that with your tax return when you get those forms. It's just so that the IRS can check that, because you said you had health insurance, did you actually have health insurance? And so that's how they're going to check that down the road.
So to clarify this, everyone needs to file that form, or just if you had the, say the medical?
1095A needs to be included with your return because it's going to have dollar amounts on there, and that's going to tell how much you paid for insurance plus your credit. If you get the 1095B or C, you do not need those when you do your taxes. Those just go with your papers as record keeping and proof that you had health insurance is all it is for your records.
Okay, thank you, Annette. Now, another question that many people may have, if your status change, let's say you got married in December, or you got divorced in December, or your spouse passed away, can we go over each of those, and can you explain us how we can file our taxes if those events, if any of those events happened?
If you got married at any time during the year, you're considered married for the whole year, and you will file either your two choices are married filing joint or married filing separate,
Okay.
because it goes by your status on the last day of the year. Likewise, if you got divorced during the year, you're considered divorced for the whole year, and you're entitled to either single or head of household, whichever your situation arises. Now, in the unlikely event your spouse passes away during the year, that year and that year only, you're entitled to do a joint return as if that spouse had been alive the whole year.
Okay.
Likewise, if you have a child that you have a baby that's born in December, you get to claim the exemption for that baby for the whole year. Even they do not prorate the exemptions during the year.
Oh, I see. That's very useful information. Yeah.
So sometimes you have them in December and you get the write-off for the whole year. So.
Now, speaking about children, if you have a teenager that will be graduating this year, can you claim him or her in your taxes?
You can claim the exemption for the student. You can claim the child as long as they were a student some part of 5 months of the year, provided you provide over half of their support for the whole year. So in most instances, you can claim them their senior year of high school.
Okay, I see.
Or college, whichever the case may be.
Now, if that child is working or it's over 16 years old and has a job, do I report the wages that they make on my taxes or
No,
on
the
my
child
return?
will file their own. You will claim them as a dependent, but they will file a tax return and go that they are single and have no dependents and they're being claimed by their parent. You, the parent, will retain the exemption as long as you provide over half of the support for that child during the year.
Okay, okay. Now, let's talk about taxable items. Workers' compensation payment, is that a taxable item?
Workers' compensation in general is not taxable
Okay.
because it's compensating you for an injury. On the reverse side, if you collect unemployment because you got laid off, unemployment is taxable by both the state and the federal government.
And that was going to be my next question. I think it's kind of a little bit confusing for some people. So just to clarify, if you got workers' comp, you do not need to tax those earnings, right?
Workers' compensation, the judgment as well as the disability payments are not taxable.
Okay, but unemployment is.
Yes.
All right. Now, what about charitable contributions? There's many people that help out, and there's some confusion about, okay, what accounts for that? Just the money I spent, or like we talked yesterday, any other spending that I have that is not shown?
Right. That's where some of the overlooked charitable contributions are. Say you donate food to the food pantry. That's considered a charitable contribution of the cost of those groceries that you donate to one of our food pantries in town. Right. The United Way has the big chili cook-off. The cost of the ingredients that go into preparing that chili is a charitable contribution on your behalf that you're making to that United Way. You cannot take a write-off for the value of your time. However, you can if you drive miles. There is a mileage rate of 14 cents a mile this year for charitable miles. So if you run errands for your church, keep track of your mileage. That's a write-off. Also, if you purchase any of the products from Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, anything that you pay over and above the fair market value of that item is considered a charitable contribution. So if you're buying something at a silent auction that has a value of $25 and you bid $50 on it because it's for a charity, the $25 is a charitable contribution. Not the $25 that's the value of the item you got, but the extra that you paid.
Oh, okay.
The premium.
Well, that's really good to know. What you're saying is that we should be saving those receipts, making sure that we make notes throughout the year of our spending, and that way we can kind of have it together when the time comes.
Right. The IRS requires that your record keeping be what they call contemporaneous, meaning that it was prepared close to the date that the activities took place when your memory is the freshest, instead of sitting there on April 15th trying to go back through and say, I did this and I did that, when you don't know if you did.
Right.
Keep track and note when it happens, and then you'll have your records.
Now, Annette, I have this question. I think many people will have it as well. If I receive a tax form or find an error on my form after I file my tax, what do I do?
There is a Form 1040X, which is an amended return. You can amend your tax return up to 3 years after it's been filed, and you will submit that to the address that's provided. And you send it in with either the additional payment or to claim the additional refund. And on that form, you will explain why you're filing the amended return.
Okay, and on that same subject, if I want to know when my return, my refund, I'm sorry, is going to be coming back, how I go about that? Just visit the IRS website?
Once they're filed, 24 hours after they've been acknowledged by the IRS, you can go to the website irs.gov, and over on the right-hand side of the screen, down just a little ways, there's a thing that says, where's my refund? And you click on that, and it will take you to a screen, and you're gonna need your social security number, your filing status, and the amount of your refund, and you can track it, and you can check it once a day to see where it is in their process. Likewise, the state of Oklahoma, you can go on the state of Oklahoma's tax commission website, and you can go in there and see the status of that refund as well.
Well, Annette, thank you so much for your time. This is valuable information. Thanks for clarifying some questions that we had, and we do appreciate your time. Now, continuing with the finance subject, we have our department head video. This morning we have Jennifer Smith.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Smith, and I serve as the accounting manager for the City of Enid. The accounting department coordinates and manages the financial records for all the city's departments, funds, and trust authorities. Some areas of responsibility include budget management, accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll, fixed assets, and general accounting. If I can be of assistance to you, please contact me at the number provided on our website. Thank you.
Welcome back, Enid, and thank you, Annette, for that wonderful insight and information about taxes and getting all of that prepared and filed. I think it is time to check in with Derrick, though, and find out what happened in Oklahoma overnight.
Yesterday, the former CEO of Chesapeake, Aubrey McClennan, was killed in a car wreck. The Oklahoma House voted 65-34 to pass a bill to cut Medicaid to those under 65 years old that are not pregnant and considered able-bodied in order to save the state $130 million yearly. The Oklahoma State Election Board report that voters broke the Oklahoma record for voter turnout Tuesday. This day in history, President Herbert Hoover signed a congressional act making the Star-Spangled Banner the official national anthem of the United States. And last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder played the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers won 103, Thunder 98. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Steve and Ashley.
Thank you, Derrick. Penn, I wonder if you could put that picture back up of behind Derrick here for a moment. This is family album time. See the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood Blues. They're my older cousins, you know. Sure. Yeah, they both spent 3 years in the 8th grade, so they're very proud of that. So it's good to see family photos that AJ and everybody put up there. So anyway, just had to make comment. That's the funniest movie, The Blues Brothers.
Were they your younger cousins?
No, they're much older.
No?
Much older.
Okay.
And I remember the line in the movie. You know, we're on a mission for God. We got to get the band back together. So. That's the funniest movie. Okay, enough of that. Good morning, Enid. It's 7:54. We got to keep moving, holding steady, 48 degrees. However, if you're planning for the day, it's going to be sunny and 63, but it will be a little bit breezy. At 8 o'clock, if you are able to watch TV or live streaming at enidtv.org, we've got an interview with a radio personality in Enid, John Herrick, and that's coming up at 8 o'clock. So, all right, I'm looking forward to the weekend. And
Me
what's the
too,
weather?
Steve, the 3-day forecast for this weekend. We're in the 70s this weekend, everyone. It will be a little bit cloudy, but in the evenings, it's only going to get down into the high 40s.
Man, that's
so
all
we're
right.
above freezing,
That's
which is
right.
awesome. I'm so excited for some sunshine and warm weather this weekend, Steve.
Very nice. I like that. Okay, I think it's time for Brooke to come back one more time.
Yes.
And we'll find out some of the events. It's just amazing what's going on at the Enid Event Center. And Brooke is back to tell us about that.
Good morning, Enid. Thank you so much for having me back this morning. Glad to be here to let you know some of the many events we have going on. This month, on March 12th and 13th, we've got Discover the Dinosaurs. That's a great event for the kids. We'll have exhibits and dinosaur rides and mini golf, lots of fun activities for the kids. It's such a popular event that it will be in 10 states just this month. In April, Styx is coming to concert, so we'll have a lot of excited rocker fans out there that will be coming to this event. In 1981, when they recorded their album, Kilroy Was Here, they used solar-powered equipment. So that's a really interesting fact about the Styx Band. Moving on, in April on the 6th, the Carden International Circus. That will be here, and we'll have 2 shows for that event. Then into the summer, our most recent announcement is Weird Al Yankovic. He is a funny guy, kind of weird maybe, and he's going to be here for his mandatory world tour. Fun facts about Weird Al is he played the accordion since he was 7 years old. He was valedictorian of his high school, and he's won 4 Grammys. Then lastly, something we're really proud, we're super honored to have the Oklahoma Speakers Ball this past Sunday. We really transformed the event center into a beautiful banquet space. To see how that happened, we do have our full time-lapse video on our Facebook page, so if you want to check it out, go to our Facebook page to watch the video. And for all of our upcoming events and what's going on, visit our website at www.enideventcenter.com. Thank you, and back to you, Steve and Ashley.
Okay, Brooke, thank you very much. It's 7:57, holding steady, 48 degrees on this Thursday, March 3rd. And it's always important to adopt a pet, so let's take a look at our pet video for this morning, if we could.
I work out at Animal Control. I am the new volunteer and adoption coordinator out here. We had several adoptions today, which is great, but we definitely need to keep up the effort. We are located at 1200 South 10th here in Enid, Oklahoma, and our phone number is 580-249-4910.
Thank you, Shayna. We appreciate that. And we didn't really have time to show the menus again for school, but I want to assure you there will be food at school today. So there will be that menu. Absolutely. Well, Ashley, what'd you learn from Annette in the tax segment?
Well, Steve, a lot of that, I have pretty simple taxes still. So a lot of that doesn't pertain to me yet. It will.
I wonder if you can claim Norman,
maybe.
Your new moo cow.
Maybe you can see the family resemblance.
Family resemblance. Maybe that's a new dependent, Norman. But no, he arrived this year, so you'll have to wait for that. All right, it's time to say goodbye.
It is. Again, thank you, Enid, for joining us. We love seeing you.
Good morning, Enid. Again, it's 48 degrees, and high today is around 63. It's going to be a nice spring day. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day.